All right, guys. I'm trying to get caught up on getting some videos done here since I've gone for a while in between and all kinds of stuff. All right, here we go. Comforting fall recipes for the homestead. This is by Marissa Alink. All right. When the weather begins to cool and we find ourselves having to turn on the stove to heat our home in the mornings, fall has finally arrived at our little house in the woods. Since we don't have the modern convenience of air conditioning in our home, baked meals are a rarity in the summer, and most things have to be eaten cold or cooked outside. But when the weather finally turns, it's time to dust off my cookbooks and pull out the recipes for all of our favorite warming comfort foods. I'm going to share a few of those with you today, and I'm going to make sure I keep these. I hope that you and your family will be able to enjoy one of these recipes soon, and they will help you embrace and enjoy the change in the seasons. I always love when summer comes, and there is so much to see and do around the homestead. I get a bug crawling on me. Gross. What is it, ant? But fall is like a welcome friend that gets to come and tell you it's time to take a little break from all the hard work of the busy season. Stupid flies. Grab your mug of apple cider and your notebook and add these recipes to your fall meal plans today. Marissa Alink is the writer of the blog Little House Living and the author of the books Little House Living and Living Slower. She and her family live in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. When she is not busy writing or homeschooling her children, Marissa and her family are always adventuring and exploring nature. Okay. Recipe number 1. Spaghetti squash and meatball soup. Okay, ingredients. Never mind. This simple recipe is perfect for this time of the year, especially if you harvest spaghetti squash from your garden. I love homegrown spaghetti squash. For the picky eaters, it's hard to tell exactly what the spaghetti squash is in the recipe. It just seems like a thin noodle, so they might not mind it as much. This is also a perfect way to use up those end of the season tomatoes or any home canned tomato sauce that you might have made. Here's how to put it together. Ingredients: 2 cups of cooked spaghetti squash, 3 cups of diced tomatoes or tomato sauce, 1 pound of cooked meatballs, about 10 to 15 meatballs, and they use Make Ahead. Oh, she says we use our Make Ahead meatballs. Okay. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, 1 medium onion chopped or a teaspoon of onion powder, and 6 cups of beef stock. Now, all this stuff is better if it's homegrown, homemade, all that kind of stuff. It's an ant on my computer. All right, instructions. Place all of the ingredients together in your slow cooker in the morning. Cook on low for 6 to 8 hours. You could cook this on high in the afternoon. I hate them things. You can cook this on high in the afternoon if you forget to put it together in the morning. If you have to cook up a whole spaghetti squash for this recipe and aren't sure how to use the rest, you might really enjoy our super simple cheesy spaghetti squash recipe as well. Okay. That was recipe number 1. Barbecue meatballs. I know, another meatball recipe. But our family really loves meatballs. I might actually try this. They can be made inexpensively, they fill everyone up with a smaller amount of meat, and they can be frozen and used later. It's a win-win in my book. I love to make my make-ahead meatballs to always have meatballs for recipes when I need them. Here's how to make this delicious recipe. Well, they don't tell you how to make the meatballs. Okay. Ingredients: 20 meatballs. I would make mine. And it would be even better if the ground beef was from your own house or local farmers. Ooh, sorry. So 20 meatballs, 2 cups of strained tomatoes, of course, homegrown, 1/4 cup of onion or a quarter teaspoon of onion powder. You can still homemade that from your own homegrown onions. Half teaspoon of garlic powder, and that can be made from your own grown garlic. Quarter teaspoon of sea salt, or the Redmond's real salt, and a third cup of brown or raw sugar. I would use raw cane sugar. If you aren't using pre-made meat, okay, this is the instructions, sorry. If you aren't using pre-made meatballs, make sure your meatballs are cooked. Place the cooked meatballs in a crock pot, add in all the other ingredients. Cook on low for 6 hours, stirring occasionally. Turn the crock pot off or on warm when the meatballs start to look like they are getting too done. These meatballs can burn since they have a limited amount of liquid, so be sure to keep an eye on them. Serve the barbecued meatballs over pasta or rice. These go great with a can of home canned green beans on the side and maybe a peach cobbler using home canned peaches for dessert. So there's that. Whew. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. And the last one is cheesy breakfast hash browns casserole. The ingredient. Okay, sorry. I couldn't end this article without including a deliciously warm breakfast recipe. You could make this for supper as well if you're looking for something inexpensive and easy. We love this recipe in the fall because potatoes are in abundance and so fresh. You could buy sausage to go with this, or you could use homemade sausage as well. Homemade would be best. Ingredients: 6 medium potatoes, washed, peeled, and shredded. 1 cup of cheddar cheese, best if it's homemade. 1 medium onion, chopped, or a teaspoon of onion powder. Definitely homegrown onions. Dehydrated, you could grind them into, onion powder. I'm tired. 1 teaspoon of real butter from your own yeah. 1 teaspoon of potato starch. You can use cornstarch or arrowroot. I would suggest arrowroot because cornstarch is too GMO'd. Cup of milk, fresh milk, coconut milk, almond milk, fresh milk. Half pound of sausage, ground sausage. Homemade would be best, and sea salt for taste. Okay. Or Redmond's real salt. Instructions. In a frying pan on the stovetop, cook up the sausage until cooked through. Place the sausage in the bottom of a non-greased 8x8 baking dish. In the same frying pan, fry the onion in the butter or in the oil. I would not use oil unless it's coconut oil. Cooking it in the same pan will help it soak up the sausage leftovers and give it more flavor. I'm really tired, you guys. When the onion turns transparent, turn the burner down to low and add in the milk and starch. Make sure you are continually stirring at this point so the milk doesn't scald. Cook until the sauce starts to thicken. In a large bowl, mix your shredded potato with the onion and milk sauce. So stir well so it's all mixed together. Pour the mixture over the top of the sausage layer in the baking dish. Finally, sprinkle your dish with shredded cheddar cheese. Bake at 400 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes until the casserole is bubbly and slightly brown on top. And that was it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I think I'll go ahead and use that picture right there. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one up there, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm going to try to get more videos out every day so we can get through these. Anyway, I will see you guys in a minute. Bye, guys.